Oh, good morning, Trojans. Today's date is May 24th, and it is the last A-Day of the year.
The quote of the day today is, "And so with the sunshine and the great bursts of leaves growing on the trees, just as things grow in fast movies, I had that familiar conviction that life was beginning over again with the summer," by F. Scott Fitzgerald in his novel The Great Gatsby.
Sweet and simple. Let's head over to sports with Peter Canale and Griffin Epstein.
Thanks, guys. That is right. They had a remarkable year battling through every O'Keefe to show a remarkable resilience and bond. After their season concluded on Monday, we talked with senior captain India Smith.
After just a wild, heartbreaking, well-played game, how do you put this one into words?
If we're gonna lose, I'd rather that be that than to just get killed, but still doesn't make it any easier. Our team played really well. That's a really good team, and we never gave up, and we came back from behind twice, and so we played well. So
you mentioned the comebacks. You guys just had a never say die attitude all season long. That comeback against Napua, you'll probably never forget. Obviously going through the death of a beloved coach and father. How have you guys thought through adversity all season?
This is honestly one of the closest teams I've ever been on. We had each other's back the whole time. Whatever's going on, like, we know we're doing it for each other. Everything we do is for each other, and didn't end out the way we wanted, but we fought hard, and it's okay.
India, you've had an incredible year, 4 years on varsity, one of the best players in VVAL this year, going to St. Mary's next year for softball, and obviously playing at that higher level. What have you learned from your time here, and when you look back in the years to come, what are you going to remember about this team?
We always had fun the whole season. That was like one of the things we did, and that honestly helped us win, but we were so close. We always just had fun with each other, and I'll carry that with me. When I was playing my best was when I was having fun with it, and so I think I'll carry that with me.
We'll play softball at St. Mary's next year. And also, after that heartbreaking game, we talked with manager Kurt Jastrow.
Heartbreaking fashion. How do you reflect on this excellently played game?
I'm really proud of these girls, especially our girls. They played hard. We had them on the ropes, and that's just softball or baseball or a sport. Sometimes you lose on the last pitch, and today it was our turn.
This team had a wild season, first year in VVAL, battled through tragedy, through a couple losing streaks to make it here. How proud are you of everything they went through to get here?
This team is amazing. We play great defense. These girls never give up. We were ahead. We battled back after being down 3-2 in the fifth. Just so proud of them. Proud the way Rachel threw. She threw a great game. The girls hit well. We played defense. We made a lot of great plays in the field.
19th right team that you've coached now here as a head coach at Petaluma High.
Yeah.
What are you specifically going to remember about this team that makes them special?
Just how the girls got along. They had great chemistry. They pulled for each other. That's one of the reasons why I think we could battle back in a lot of games and prevail, because the girls never give up and they play.
Turning next year, Petaluma will continue to compete for VVAL and NCS pennants. Well, this is our final show here together, Peter, so I just wanted to thank you for an incredible year. It's been so fun teaching you everything I know, and just being a mentor to you, and I've seen you grow so much here on camera and at live streams and in editing and everything you've done. You've really come far, and even though you're not taking the class next year, I just want to thank you for everything you've done for the school this year and covering Petaluma sports.
Yeah, I mean, thank you, Griffin. You can definitely see the impact you've had on this school, and they've actually been able to build up a sports program for someone who's done this for even only a year. I can see how much work and dedication this takes to actually do right. And I think you have built up an impressive legacy here.
Oh, thank you, Peter. Also, big shout out to Bo Miller, who helps with the sports segment every single moment. Bo's going to walk on camera. Bo directs every single morning for sports. Big shout out to him. And also big shout out to TJ Fife behind the control room. He does our tech side of things every day. That's all for sports. And now I'm Griffin Epstein.
And I'm Peter Canale.
And let's head back
to the anchor desk.
Thanks, guys. If you have not picked up your yearbook, go to the student store during lunch or after school to receive your book. If you still want to purchase a yearbook, go to A6 and talk to Mr. Jones. Tuesday next week is the last day to pick up. The yearbook staff do not deliver to your classes and do not distribute from the student store during finals. If you want to keep the great memories from this year, get your yearbook.
All graduating seniors, this is very important. There is an ice cream social and a grad practice next Friday after your finals. The ice cream social will be right after school, and the grad practice will be immediately following. And make sure you go to that because you might not be able to walk at graduation if you don't.
For some more sports, the Petaluma High softball has long been one of the most dominant Trojan sports teams. We take a closer look at their success and the copious amounts of Trojan softball players headed to the next level.
This one is crushed way back out of here.
The varsity softball team has a long history of success at Petaluma High. Kurt Janstow has been the Trojans manager for 18 years and a part of the program since 1998. With over a dozen league pennants this century, Petaluma softball has become a powerhouse under the eyes and tutelage of Janstow. However, most impressive has been the remarkable numbers that have moved on to the next level of softball in college. India Smith, Petaluma's senior captain, is headed to St. Mary's next year, a Division I school in Moraga. She is another in the long lineage of purple and white players to follow a certain Trojan softball approach.
They're all a lot of hard workers, so that's really like what's gotten them there. And they've, like, I know Alexis with Reckers and Rachel even and Chandler, like they all worked really hard.
Smith is the 29th Trojan softball player in the last 21 years to head to college, almost all in Division I. So why are Petaluma softball players headed to top softball programs across the country at the rate IHOP serves up flapjacks?
We are very competitive on who we play. We play in the best tournaments. We play all the best teams in Northern California, and that helps because they want to see the players play against the best high school girls.
Patrons are expected to work hard on the diamond. The true sign of a committed player is someone with the talent of Smith continuing to improve and work hard even with all their talent. There is no doubt, though, that any sport is more than about winning. Janstow knows college coaches aren't just looking for players that play softball at an extremely high level, but they want well-rounded players, whether on the field or in the community.
One of the things we always pride ourselves on is education, GPA. When a college coach calls me and I talk to them on the phone about a certain player, the first thing they ask is what is their GPA.
Furthermore, the Trojan softball program doesn't just produce players that head to top schools across the country. Petaluma has seen its share of star players that have starred in college, likely none higher than Samantha Bannister and Joelle Christ. Both are recognized as some of the best players in the state, and both headed to softball powerhouse University of Arizona. The next Trojan who might have her name up in these lofty heights is sophomore Rachel Blass.
What I've learned from here for the past 2 years is definitely the importance of being a teammate. Here, you have to look out for each other at school and everything because you do see them every day.
What makes Petaluma so attractive to top players across the country? There is no doubt history and tradition is what's most important.
Definitely tradition has been one of the main factors of why Petaluma softball is the way that it is. Huddles right before the games have always been the same. That's what really brings us all together, and the camaraderie between all of us girls brought us together through those traditions.
The Trojan softball program has clearly become a pipeline for the best on the diamond to play college softball. A unique approach and a manager who is building girls for the next level has sent Petaluma softball to unprecedented heights. In Petaluma, Griffin Epstein, Trojan Live.
Attention students, have you received a D or an F in a core class like English, math, PE, science, or social science? Or have you received a D or an F in the past? Applications for summer school to your counselors are due today in the counseling office.
Also, we are happy to tell you that some difficulties we've had up on Once Upon a P is back on our channel. If you'd like to watch this great play, we have the perfect one for you.
Finally, today the class of 2019 watches their final Trojan Live show here, and here's a final word from our Petaluma High School seniors.
Hand me a towel, I'm dirty dancing by myself, gone off tabs of that acid. Form me a circle, watch my Jagger. Might lose my jacket and hit a solo. One time.
When you think about all the stuff you've done, all the stuff you've covered over the years, sports-wise, what are you most proud of?
I think my first year when I covered things, my sophomore year, and I did a lot more of the major sports, football, basketball, baseball, and softball. I had an email from head coach of the wrestling team, Paul Schlosser, and he, told me that I wasn't covering wrestling enough, and they just won an SEL title, and he was right. And I think I used his criticism, I used his feedback, and heard why the wrestlers were hurt by my lack of coverage, and woke up 6 a.m. both the SEL tournament in Healdsburg, VVL tournament in Napa last 2 years. I've covered those tournaments all day, and those have both been incredible experiences. I've learned so much about wrestling. Those seniors on the wrestling program have amazing values, and for me to be able to bring their values and how hard they work to the rest of the school, that's a moment that really stands out, I think, of me taking some feedback, and then the difference that made, and be able to highlight an amazing group of kids, an amazing team. That's really what high school sports, Petaluma High, is all about.
All right, let's go back to the beginning. When we first started this, did you ever think, like, this is where we would be? Did you think it would pick up this much?
I guess not. I feel like I just went into it. I didn't know what to expect, and it just kind of took off from there, and realized, media and journalism has a power. I was hoping I could get on camera, but I really didn't know how it worked.
When you cover such like extreme sports events in town, like at the Egg Bowl, or at like minute matches, do you feel like a certain amount of responsibility in any way?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's at that point, especially when you have that moment, like this year, last 2 minutes of the Egg Bowl, 400 people watching from Virginia to Germany to who else knows where. Through the pictures on the screen and through my voice, I have to, become one with that and deliver it so they can experience it like they're there, so they can, feel the heartbreak at the Egg Bowl. Our goal is to bring them there so they're sitting in the student section with the other 500 fans. It's rare I don't go, a couple live streams without having some parent, some kid, someone coming up to me and telling me my grandmother was watching, especially grandparents who are all the way across the country. They'd never be able to watch their kids, and they can tune in live. Cole Power's father, the Trojan quarterback this year, told me that his grandmother, living in a retirement home in Texas, but because of us, every game she would go put on her Cole Powers jersey, and she'd tune in and watch the game. And it's, when you hear those things and people are depending on you, they're counting on you.
It makes you go.
Yeah. I mean, you've got to be there. It's important to find something in your life, whether that's sports or nature or food or whatever it is. You have to find something in life, something that brings people together, brings people that are your people, and something that you can chase in life. And sports has that capability in high school, unlike anything else.
I mean, sometimes I think, especially now, I think about, how long we've been doing this for. And I just can't help but ask myself, what am I going to do without you, Griffin Epstein?
Everyone in life needs their Benjamin Vandermeer, that you've always been passionate, and when no one else has believed in me or believed in Trojan Live or believed what I have done, I wouldn't have made it through the last 3 years without you, Ben. And waking up every morning to Trojan Live's hard, but I always knew you were there to be positive no matter if the world came crashing down on us. And
it often did.
Yeah, and it often did. Yes.
I don't think either of us are really too good at saying goodbye in general. So, guys, well, that's our show. Seniors, we wish you the best of luck in life. I think do we have an announcement? Yes, thank you. We do have a bit of an announcement here for all of you today.
Breaking news.
Yeah, this is pretty breaking news. The new principal has been announced for next year, and his name is Justin Maury. So thank you very much. He's a Petaluma High School alumni from class of 1994. So just once again from all of us, I guess, make it a great day.
Make it a great day.
Bye, guys.
Is that what you didn't tell Knox?
Yes.
If I gave away all the stuff that I had away, and I'll never express myself, and I'll always expect some pain coming out of my shoulder, gash in the middle of my
Like local school. Yeah, do it. Alright, cool.
big break, pushing over when I know what I could do. I listen up into you. I hope that you see me grow. I want to see you too. I know I'm out here outside. I wish I had to arrive. I